Hi, it's Matt. This week, the NHS COVID-19 Test and Trace app for England and Wales has finally been released, and I highly recommend that you, your friends and family install it to help keep you safe. The NHS abandoned their original app and have made a new one that uses the very secure exposure notification system from Google and Apple. This doesn't know your location or send any personal data to the government, yet can still inform you if you've been near someone who's tested positive for COVID-19. This sounds like magic, I know. I'll explain how it works and how it's designed to keep your data safe. Many countries around the world are now using Google and Apple's secure exposure notification system to help stop the spread of coronavirus through contact tracing. This includes the UK with separate apps for England and Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland, and there's also the Republic of Ireland, Italy, Germany, Denmark, Austria, Canada, several US states, Brazil, just to name a few, who are also using this system. So what is contact tracing? The World Health Organization can explain this one more concisely than me.
Contact tracing is the process of identifying, assessing and managing people who've been exposed to a disease to prevent onward transmission. When systematically applied, contact tracing will break the chains of transmission and is an essential public health tool for controlling infectious disease outbreaks.
Because people may transmit COVID-19 when they haven't got any symptoms, the WHO guidance also emphasises the importance of quarantining contacts to further reduce the potential for secondary transmission. This is actually really clever because it does it without knowing your location, who you are or who you've been with, using constantly changing, randomly generated IDs instead. These are stored on your phone and not sent to Google or Apple, and it doesn't reveal any personal information to your region's public health authority or government either. All they have is a list of these random IDs from people who have tested positive from COVID-19, but only if they have consented to sharing them. The first bit is done by the exposure notification system built into your phone, not your region's app. It generates a random ID for your device, which actually changes every 10 to 20 minutes to make sure the IDs can't be used to identify you or your location. In the background, it'll exchange your phone's current ID with the phones around you using low-power Bluetooth and ends up with a temporary list of IDs you've been near in the last 14 days. It regularly downloads the list of random IDs of everyone who's tested positive for COVID-19 in your region, then checks it against the temporary list of IDs on your phone to see if you've been in contact with one of them. If there's a match, it'll get your region's app to notify you that you've been in contact with someone who's tested positive, and will give you local advice on what to do next. It doesn't tell you who it was or where because it doesn't know. When you get a positive test result, you can choose to enter this into your region's app. With your consent, this will then upload the list of random IDs your phone's used in the last 14 days so that other phones that have come in contact with these IDs can alert their users. 99% of mobile devices worldwide run either Google's Android or Apple's iOS and make apps available through Google's Play Store or Apple's App Store. So they're in a great position to combine forces and distribute this technology to the world. Google and Apple are only allowing public health authorities' apps to use this technology, and only if the apps meet specific criteria around privacy, security and data use. With traditional contact tracing, you'll be asked to remember who you've been with recently and to share their contact details. The relevant authority will then contact them to let them know they've been near someone who's now tested positive. This new digital system is great because it doesn't rely on your memory and giving away people's details. But its main strong point is that it can alert so many more people who otherwise wouldn't know they've been in contact with someone with COVID-19. This includes time spent on public transport, queuing to get into a shop, or more importantly, the tables around you at a pub or a restaurant. Because you're not wearing a mask if you're eating, it has so much more potential to spread further. I posted on my Twitter and Instagram suggesting people download their local app and heard back many questions and concerns. Here are the main ones. It doesn't. It's a list of randomly generated IDs which you can't trace back to specific people, places or devices. It only stores this on your phone and deletes it after 14 days. The exposure notification system does not know your location. And in fact, if you're really worried about the government knowing your location, don't carry a mobile phone. Your phone network know who you are because you pay the bill, and where you are by which cell towers your phone's connected to. Your government could find out where you are from them. It just so happens that the setting to turn location on or off on Android also turns Bluetooth scanning on and off. Because Bluetooth scanning needs to be on, location needs to be on. But don't worry, they've prevented Public Health Authority apps using this system from requesting access to your device's location. It requires Bluetooth 4 low energy technology, which is only available on newer phones, hence the limit. Because it's using low energy Bluetooth and only using it very briefly, it uses considerably less power than other things like wireless audio. Through the app, you're able to temporarily disable contact tracing. If you do this when your phone's in a locker, for example at the gym, it'll stop thinking that you were near everyone who was walking past your locker. The amount of support you get while isolating and unable to work differs based on where in the world you are. In the UK, self-isolating will be a legal requirement from the 28th of September, but people on low incomes can get £500 if they're not able to work from home and lose income as a result. In the UK, your employer can also be fined up to £10,000 for not letting you self-isolate. I hope that helped you understand how these new apps work to keep you safe. Contact tracing is another tool to go along with the standard precautions we're all getting used to. Keeping your distance from other people, washing your hands regularly and thoroughly, and wearing a face covering over your nose and mouth when close to other people. Thanks for watching. Please let your friends and family know about your Regions app and share this with them if it helped you out. I'm Matt Gray Yes on Twitter, Instagram and all the socials, and hit subscribe so you don't miss my next video.